Would you recommend it?
100%.
You're waiting for me to ask.
Yes.
Che, the movie, part 1 and part 2. So, describe this movie in 2 words.
All right. In 2 words, factual and non-glorifying.
Right.
How about you?
Objective and courage.
Oh, all right. Who do you think would benefit from watching this movie?
Whoever is fascinated by the life of Che Guevara. Is that Guevara. Since you are the expert. Guevara. Ernesto. Dr. Major Ernesto Che Guevara. Yeah. So, you take over since you worship.
I don't worship him, but I just... So I went in... Let me start again.
You had no idea who Che was.
I had no idea who Che was.
I knew who Che was.
And you told me to watch this movie.
Yes.
And I said, I'm not sure about that. And you said, let's watch it and see what you think. And after watching this movie, I ended up buying a whole lot of books. They're not even finished yet. On Che Guevara. That's how much this movie impacted me.
Before we get into the movie, I'd like to ask, what is it specifically about Che that fascinated you? Because I'm sure it's not his communist beliefs.
Courage. This movie showed me that he had courage. That there was nothing, if he had a vision, there was nothing stopping him.
But there has been other people in history who've had the same, courage and vision and determination. But I think there's more to Che for you.
It's the way he goes on about life. It's the way in the movie, you see him, I felt that he feared, but still went ahead. So whether that was a revolution or part of his past revolution, you see him fighting for his life. But at the same time, that vision is so clear for him that there is nothing stopping him. The passion that you see in his eyes, the determination is something that I have never seen before. And I would admire that trait in anyone, and I would love to have that myself.
And you can go on forever talking about him.
I can go on forever talking about this.
If I have a chance, what we see with Che, especially if you read his diaries, is that he was a human. He had fears just like everybody else, right? But what makes him unique is he acts despite the fears. He's not a psychopath. And I hate this labeling, this limited, narrow perspective in Western medical discourse, this pathologizing everything that we don't understand. I can go on for a long time on that.
On a tangent.
Yeah. But that is Che, the movie. Now, this movie I believe, is for those who already know Che and his story. If you have no idea, I wouldn't recommend watching it, because you just get thrown in the story. The movie begins, at the beginning, Che he's talking in the United Nations. He's having interviews, and you have no idea what's going on. And then he goes straight away into his guerrilla warfare. If you don't know what's going on, you'd just be confused. So, yes, I think this movie was made for people who already know the story, who Che was and what he fought for.
Can I say, though, I didn't know anything about Che Guevara, Ernesto Guevara.
And that's why you got bored at some point.
I did get bored after part 1. I was still bored, so it does drag a bit, I have to say, if you don't know about it.
But now that you know him, when you watch it, you enjoy it.
Yes, I will enjoy. But still, it still made me interested enough to go and buy all these books. And also, can I just say that after watching this movie, I had a dream that in my dream I was Che Guevara. So I turned into him into my dream.
About the person who plays Che, and I think with movies like this, when somebody is portraying a huge figure like Che, it's so important who plays the character. And we talked about it when we talked about Malcolm X. Denzel Washington, he did a fantastic job playing Malcolm X. And I think this actor, whose name is Benicio del Toro, did I say that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he did a great job of being Che. I don't know if there would have been anybody else who could have played him as good as he did. So it's difficult playing Che, I think, because to embody, he's a huge person. He's that joy in it. He's got a joy in his face, despite what he's going through, despite where he is, and that's so fascinating.
I agree. But one thing that I loved about this movie was that it tried to, I said, not to glorify Che.
Yeah.
And take quite an objective stance. So apologies. The movie represented facts as much as possible. So I noticed there were parts in the movie that were taken out, removed, or not shown to us. There are controversial parts in or segments of Che's life. For example, his last words or his second marriage. I see why the movie skipped those parts, because it didn't want to sort of have a certain narrative. It wanted to give us only facts. And again, if you don't know about him, then you as the viewer or the audience can decide whether you want to glorify the life of Che Guevara or not.
Yeah, so the movie is mainly about the battles, the warfare. It doesn't focus so much on Che's personal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's focused more on what he went through in Cuba and the revolution, and then part two, I think, it jumps straight forward to when Che goes from Cuba to Bolivia, which is his last mission. So what happened was, as most of us know, that Che he was successful in helping the revolution in Cuba. And after that, he wanted to bring revolution across other Latin American countries. He went to Congo. He was unsuccessful. There was language barrier and so on. And then he went to Bolivia. It's not trying to surprise you with any facts. It's just trying to show you Che, in his most difficult battles.
Is there anything that you would change about this movie?
I like to get to know him more, personally, on a personal level. I don't think this movie focused on him personally. It just, we were like a fly on the wall watching the battles, the guerrilla warfare unfold.
Yes, it was as if it wanted to take you back in time.
Yeah.
So you went back, you watched Che and Fidel Castro take on.
They just
Cuba.
Throw you into the Cuban Revolution. So we have no idea what led Che to be here, right? We don't have the context.
Well, yes, but given obviously the length of the sort of the warfare and the things that they had to go through, I think it was justifiable not to give so much context. And again, I think the movie was just about the revolution.
Yeah, it is. It does say here, Che, a revolutionary life. So this movie focuses on his revolutionary life rather than his personal life.
All right. Would you recommend it?
Of course. Great movie. So if you're looking for something that will excite you and one of those movies, thrillers, it probably wouldn't be that. But if you are seeking to understand and you have a thirst for understanding characters such as Che and what goes on in those battlefields, definitely. Would you recommend it?
100%.
was waiting for me to ask.
Yes. All right.
All right, and that is
That.
that.